This is episode number 64 of the Posters in Every Direction podcast, entitled Posters Are Coming.
Because we've been watching Game of Thrones.
That's right.
And it's currently very cold.
It's very cold. Winter is here.
Winter is here.
Yeah, going back through and rewatching Game of Thrones because when the world is so nutso, bananas upside down, a little TV escapism, I think, can help. So, Game of Thrones is kind of like a warm and fuzzy blanket, especially during the winter. I don't know about anybody else.
Does it make you feel less cold?
I think maybe I just identify with the cold. So it's
I'm one with the cold.
One with the cold. But I thought we would talk about the things that are coming up in 2026, since here we are in the new year.
It's wild.
Happy New Year to all you listeners.
Happy New Year to everybody. And I know it's been a hot minute since we have dropped a new episode. But life is life in these days, and we are busy.
We all had colds for a while.
We were all sick for like forever.
So had no recording voice.
Right.
Whatsoever.
You wouldn't, I mean, I don't know. My Phoebe voice is kind of cool. You know, Phoebe from Friends.
I was just trying to get through talking.
Yeah, try to make
coughing.
an episode when you're like hacking up along. So thank you to everybody for your patience. And you know what? We had like a really great end of 2025.
Yep.
And so that being said, we thought let's start the year off with a fresh new episode, Posters in Every Direction. Where are we going to be? What are we excited about?
And there's a lot to be excited about right now. We're right in the thick of tour dates dropping.
Everybody's like, here's all the dates, and here's all my money.
Right. Yeah, that's the big challenge. It's like time, energy, money, scheduling, red strings being drawn all over the maps with the push pins, trying to figure out where are we going to go. But Dave Matthews Band dropped their tour dates last week.
Yes.
Goose dropped a whole bunch of dates. And so there's so much to look forward to. I mean, we're sitting here in the winter, you know, the snow outside and all that stuff, shivering and things, but summer is not far away. Before we get to summer, though, there will be spring. There'll be some spring tour dates. Yeah. There'll be Mexico. And before we get to all of that, Erica and I wanted to make you all aware that there's going to be an incredibly hot, Drop It While It's Hot, poster conference show gathering down in the Hotlanta area.
Yes, the Atlanta Rock Poster Show. This is, I believe, their 5th year.
Yep.
This was born out of the Rock Poster Society, TRPS, or TRIPS as people refer to it. TRIPS is a big conference show out in California. And us East Coasters, you know, it's hard to get out to. So Matt Lunig, if you know of Matt's work, if you're a listener of the podcast, you should. Matt Lunig has been a TRIPS board member and decided to bring it to the East Coast. And we are really thrilled because for the first time, Mike and I, with Posters in Every Direction and our other podcast, Best of the Tour, are going to be doing a collab event booth table at the Atlanta Rock Poster Show. That is going to be on Saturday, February 28th at the Sweetwater Brewery in Hotlanta, Atlanta, Georgia. And when I say, like, if you're a poster collector, the list of the unbelievable talent that is going to be at the Rock Poster Show in Atlanta, I mentioned Matt Lunig, so I mean, we're starting.
Nathaniel Days, Derek Perez, Tom Shaw, Jared Swafford, the one and only Methane Studios for the OG Dave Matthews Band fans.
Oh, yeah.
They're based out of the Atlanta area, right? And so they'll be there. I can go on and on, but Haphazard Press, Status Stereograph, Mark Spusta is going to be there, which is very cool.
If you listen to a couple episodes back, we got to chat with Mark about the amazing Chicago print that he did for Goose.
That's right. Another friend of the pod, Andrew Sachs on Saxy Art. So I'm just excited to go.
Chelsea Howsand. Like, honestly, what we need to do is go back. There's so many incredible artists. One, that we collect their work. And two, there's also artists that we've not gotten to meet in person.
Yep.
So the cool thing about the Atlanta Rock Poster Show is it is free to attend.
Yep. No entry fee.
No entry fee, no ticket fee. So save all your dollars because you can find some gems from what we hear.
Yeah, I think
if there's been a print.
I think there's collectors or dealer collectors that come to the Rock Poster Show, as well as these artists are each going to have their own table or booth or set up, and they might have some of their old, Grail archive pieces that you might be chasing that are there and available for purchase. Yeah. So this was sort of the auspices of the posters are coming episode, because to start off the year, we're not even at a concert end of February, but I can already feel the desire to like, oh man, what are we going to find and what are we going to pick up and what's going to be just too irresistible to pass up. So
yeah, that is the one thing, we Mike and I, the way that we collect is we like the art. We love the artist. Maybe we're at the show. Maybe we're not at the show. We tend to just collect because it's part of a collection or a piece that we just can't live without and have to have up on our walls. But shows like this really give you the opportunity to support the artist directly.
Yeah, and it's just part of the fandom of, I think that space that we've been exploring with this podcast. The collector community, that's sort of fan persondom that gets created between the consumer, the collector, and the artist and the music, and it's this sort of opportunity, I think, like a Comic-Con is or anything like that, to meet some of your favorite people, other collectors, dealers you may have dealt with, or the artists that create it. So if you are in or around Atlanta, or you need something to do at the end of February, come on down to Sweetwater Brewing. Check out the Atlanta Rock Poster Show, Saturday, February 28th, noon to 7 p.m., free admission. Again, they want you to just come on in, say hello. Yeah. There's no obligation, obviously, to buy anything, but I'm sure there will be lots of opportunity to support your favorite artists. And then Sweetwater Brewing, cool location, have had the beer, love their beer, and I think that'll be really cool to check out as well.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. So if you're in the Atlanta area or you're just looking to do something at the end of February, got to get, out of town or whatnot, come see us. We're going to be giving away some stickers. We'll be recording, I think, some clips for some upcoming episodes. So if you want to come and say something for the pods, that would be super fun.
That's right.
I'm really excited about it because we've talked about this, like the way that we've made friends in poster lines and the people that we've created that community with, which what you were saying earlier. There's just nothing better than getting together with other people who are just as obsessed with paper and the art,
shiny paper,
and the shiny paper and the art that comes with it. It's just I'm just super geeked about it.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun to do it together.
That'll be absolutely. And that'll be the end of February. Then I think we get a little bit of a reprieve in March. And then starting in April, we're going to be starting to hit the road for some shows.
For some Goose shows.
With our other favorite band, Goose. Yeah. Goose is doing a spring tour. We're going to pick up shows in Asheville, North Carolina. Yeah. And then we're going to do a little bit of the Florida run. They're kind of going to do 5 shows in Florida, or maybe 6, something down the Fort Lauderdale area. We're not going to make those. We're going to pick them up in Clearwater, Tampa, and then we're going to get the back-to-back nights in St. Aug.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. It'll be really fun. We have a lot of friends that we know that are going, so we're all going to kind of be doing a little road trip across the state of Florida. It's interesting. We've known about that trip, and we've had those spring tour tickets for some time. I feel like this year, while tour dates usually drop around the same time, I feel like it was maybe slightly later than usual, but we've had some really cool things on the schedule. And usually around the time of Dave and Tim Mexico, either right around or right after Dave Matthews Band drops tour dates. And since they didn't do a fall tour, this feels like, gosh, we haven't seen our band since last summer. I feel like it's a really long break.
Yeah, for DMB.
Yeah.
So, and I think well-deserved. They need it, They're getting up there. They've been doing this a long time. Families, Dave's a granddad now. I'm sure he wanted to spend some time with the kids and the grandchild. And so, again, well-deserved time off. But their summer tour dates dropped, and they're kicking off summer tour on May 8th in the Woodlands, Texas, doing the Texas run. They go all the way through September 6th. They close out 4th, 5th and 6th of September for Labor Day weekend at the Gorge. And just kind of logistics and all that. Curious as to where you guys are going to be seeing them. We're getting a hometown show here in Raleigh, so we're pretty excited about that. Have put in for tickets with the warehouse. And now all of the waiting begins, all the panic begins, everybody checking their credit card statements to see if they've been charged.
Pending charges by the warehouse, mean nothing.
Please. They fall off, and then they mean nothing, and then everybody's disappointed, or some people are excited, and round and round we go. But the good news is there's a 2026 Dave Matthews Band summer tour.
Yeah.
And I think I'm really kind of plugging in this year as I don't know how many more summer tours they have. How many more times will Dave Matthews Band hit the road for a full-on summer tour?
We're going to make some people really upset.
I mean, it's a question that I think we just have to ask ourselves. It's not shade. I mean, I sit here in sort of gratitude and abundance that I've seen this band for over 30 years now. I mean, this will be shows 66 and whatever happens this summer for me. Now we're at this point, especially with, Bobby Weir's recent passing with the Grateful Dead, of just this, hey, our favorite bands, our music doesn't last forever in the way that we celebrate it. It changes. Yeah. It goes through evolution. And to your point, there was no fall tour last year for DMB. And so, truncating the year into a relatively condensed summer tour.
Yeah,
if you look at the dates,
there's a lot of venues, a lot of new venues, some old ones,
but a lot of two and the 3-night run at the end, but a lot of 2-night runs. So they're kind of stopping in a city, doing a couple back-to-backs, and then moving on.
I like that. I mean, last summer we got to see Dave in Charleston for a 2-night stint, and that was it was so great. You know, you get a lot of music in these multi-night shows, which you get a lot of bang for your buck.
Yes.
Speaking of bucks.
Yeah.
We got some different ticket prices this year for Dave Matthews Band. And I think with our Goose tickets, we did see a little bit of a return to smaller venues, which in turn reduced the price of the tickets.
Yes.
And I know it's not it's comparing apples and oranges, right? Dave is a well-established rock and roll Hall of Famer band, and Goose is, in a decade, and they're really on this uprise. We're getting a lot more visibility. I mean, they sold out Madison Square Garden for 2 nights. I mean, this is they're coming, but we saw them kind of return to smaller venues, like here in Raleigh. They're going to Red Hat Amphitheater, which is a smaller venue. A lot of multi-night runs in their tour as well. And I love it, especially if you have to travel. Yeah. We're traveling a lot for music these days. So if we can pick up some shows that are local, that are multi-night. I forgot to mention, add Dogs in a Pile to our bands new bands that we'll see this year. They're playing in Raleigh on April 4th, I think it is, at the Lincoln Theater, which is one of my favorite small venues here. It is intimate, and it's just and they have some banger posters. I know you talked about Andrew Sachs.
He does a lot for dogs,
and his stuff. So I'm fingers crossed
that
we get a Saxy print at a show we're at.
I think we'll get something awesome, and it'll be exciting to be able to pick up our first dogs poster.
Yeah. So I mean, like you were talking about, I think part of the experience of, as we're getting older, and the bands that we follow that are getting older, the passing of icons like Bobby Weir, it just makes me want to buy the ticket, take the ride.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the message is just wherever you're going this summer, right? However many shows you get in, just try to savor it. That's my message sort of to myself more than anybody. Just enjoy the ride, buy the ticket where you can, make it happen. Grab the poster. Don't pass it up, because it's there, and you can always sell it later if you don't want it. But I think there's a lot of music to go around, a lot of great shows, a lot of great venues. The thing about the Dave tour that I'm wondering about with the multi-night runs places is, are we going to have an opportunity, or more opportunities again, to have that sort of the weekend print in addition to the nightlies? So there were quite a few last year that popped up by Todd Slater when they would drop in sort of a area. He did a Chicago one. He did the was it Noblesville that he did one at? And so it was sort of like this, kind of 2-night stand.
I think was one of them.
Yeah. Well, he had a nightly at the Gorge. And also in the merch perspective, we were at the Charleston, South Carolina shows last year. I talked about this on the pod about the t-shirt that was just absolutely fire.
Yeah, the venue t-shirt.
The venue t-shirt for a multi-night stand. Will we see that for these different shows that there are? Let's see, West Palm is one of them. And we've seen merch for West Palm before. Noblesville is a 2-night stand. Grand Rapids, Michigan, new venue. What do we see out of there? Curious. Camden's getting 2 nights. Guilford, 2 nights. SPAC, 2 nights. Of course, Fiddler's Green in Colorado getting 2 nights. So a lot of opportunities for DMB to sort of have that, hey, weekend stop. And, you know, not dissimilar, we're seeing some of that for Goose.
Yeah.
There's a couple of opportunities. We mentioned the spring tour, seeing them in Florida, getting some almost a 3-night run. I mean, we have to go from Tampa to St. Augustine.
It's 3 nights in a row.
But it is 3 nights in a row.
So, you know, better start training now.
Right. That's like the whole citrus theme that people are doing with stuff. I may have already ordered a fan-made pink flamingo t-shirt for the Goose Florida tour.
I think that's perfect. It's fun to like go to new places. I think, you know, we have some friends who travel and they do, you know, just travels. Like I'm going to go to Europe or we're going to go here, Grand Canyon. And it's like the best thing about traveling for the bands that you love is going to new cities and sort of having like the both and opportunity. I'm going to both enjoy a new city that I've never been to and get to see the band that I love in a new venue. So I'm really excited. So if you are a fan of Goose, you know that they just dropped the rest of their summer tour. They had announced MSG a couple weeks ago.
And kind of the way they've put this together on the website, I'm looking at their tour dates now. There's not a super clear delineation between spring tour and summer tour. It's just kind of like they're on tour and they bounce. I'll call the spring tour. We talked a little bit about Florida, but they're going to be in Athens, Georgia at the Jam in the Streets, March 28th. Then they go to Asheville, April 10th. We'll see you there.
Yep.
They're down in Birmingham, Alabama right after that. Then they start the Florida run, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, Clearwater, St. Aug. Then they come up to New Orleans, and then they do a Texas run after that. When they wrap that, they don't really take much of a break. I mean, it's about 2 weeks. Then we're in Mexico at Viva El Gonzo. And we are going to be there this year. So
very excited.
Y'all know from listening to the pod, Erica and I have been lucky enough to do Dave and Tim in Mexico 3 times. We've loved it. They've shifted the dates. It used to really be something we could manage when they were in the February sort of President's Day weekend, if you will. And they've moved them back to January. They've just been really harder dates for us to hit. So we've passed on Dave and Tim the last 2 years. And when we did that last year, we started having a conversation about what are we going to do for 26. And where we landed was we've never been to the Cabo area, and we've never been for this sort of Viva El Gonzo weekend that Goose did. I think this is only their second year, but we got a lot of great feedback from people, listeners, friends at shows, that it was a great event last year. So we bought the ticket. We're taking the ride. Viva El Gonzo in May. We'll be there for that.
Yes. Very excited. You know, it's a festival, so it's a little bit different. I mean, it's 3 nights of Goose, but it's also unbelievable ticket of other artists that we've never heard or we love. For example, My Morning Jacket, Jim James, who I love. And I've talked about this before. I think we had a conversation about this as well. Courtney Schoberlin from the Planet Pen is a big My Morning Jacket fan. And I had pinged her and I was like, where do I start? This was maybe about a year ago. And I just went down the rabbit hole. And so they're one of the headliners of the festival with Goose, one of the main kind of top tier billing, you could say. But
I was really late to the game with My Morning Jacket. I hadn't plugged in, but I've been listening to them lately. Super excited to see them. Jim James does that song, AEIOU, that Goose covers. And when I heard that by Goose, that sent me down the Jim James rabbit hole a little bit and listen. I just love that song. So can't wait to see those guys. And then the other, y'all may have heard or may not, but her name is LP Giobbi. I think I'm saying that right. If I butchered it, I'm sorry, LP. she's a DJ. She does the club oonce music.
Dead House.
Dead House. There you go. And takes you to outer space, and it's incredible. But she's done some stuff with Goose. I mean, she's done remixes for Taylor Swift as well, like that big, right?
Yep.
But she's been with them before. I think down in Mexico, she's going to be there again.
Yeah, Corey Wong.
Really excited.
You guys in the Dave Matthews Band world know Corey Wong.
Yep.
Corey, I think, played and opened for Dave at the Gorge last year. He's played with them at MSG as a guest. Incredible guitarists. That's going to be killer. Bands that we've been following: Pigeons Playing Ping Pong, Dogs in a Pile, Eggy, Kitchen Dwellers. This is what I'm really excited about. Mahali. If you don't know Mahali, he is doing a tribute to Nirvana set. Like, come on. Yeah. He played last year with them, came out, they did a Nirvana cover. It's going to be, and then, DJ Marb Menthal.
Yeah, Trevor, the bassist for Goose, has this alter ego persona, DJ Marb Menthals, and we've seen him do this performance a couple times at Goose Misses, but the fact that he's going to have his own sort of full set is going to be pretty cool.
Stoked. It's going to be pretty incredible.
So we will absolutely report back on
we
experience
will have probably
there.
a multi-episode set of podcasts, because I don't know how we'd fit all of that in one.
And I'm really curious to see the poster and merch scene down there for that, because I know last year there was some Viva El Gonzo branded stuff. So in other words, the posters aren't Goose. Then, this band, they are Viva El Gonzo. And so it'll be interesting to see the t-shirts, the posters, the differential, not dissimilar for how the Dave Matthews Band posters are on tour. And then Dave and Tim Mexico have Dave and Tim type merch. So I think it's an opportunity again for more poster acquisition. So again, posters are coming. And that's like the tip of the spear, because that doesn't hit on the Dave summer tour, the Goose summer tour that we're going to be doing. Yep.
And then what happens fall, winter? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, we're not even in fall yet. Nobody knows. I think there's a lot of speculation. Dave will probably be back on the road. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, TBD, to be determined. Right. If they are, we'll take a look at what dates they hit and where they go. Madison Square Garden is always a fun one. But before we get to starting to speculate a fall, Goose is going to carry us into, after Mexico, they're going to go over to Europe.
These guys just are.
We're not going to hop. They're machines. We're not going to be able to hop the pond. We looked at it. It's a little tough to just come back from Mexico and say, all right, let's go to London. I mean, it's just kind of like a little much for us. The dates are very close, but I mean, good for Goose for spreading the music and getting to a wider audience.
Absolutely. And if you're heading out to Europe, what I love about, and Dave's done this too when they do their Europe tours, they really do try to work with local artists. So, I know last year a lot of the Dave Matthews Band Europe tour posters were all from regional artists in the UK, which is really freaking cool.
Yep.
One of the ones that we talked to over on Best of the Tour, Martin Donders, and just such a cool guy. And his work is just whimsical and beautiful. And I know that he had done one for Dave in Paris, which was very, very cool.
Yeah.
So I would expect Goose, the same kind of thing. A lot of the Goose prints last year were local artists that I just think that that's really cool. Excuse our dogs barking.
Yeah, we have dogs going nuts waiting for the snow to come.
Snow, what snow?
But that sort of takes us through the spring, and it gets us to early June, which is when Dave's tour will be in full swing, and Goose will be back in the States. Goose is going to be in Virginia Beach 15th and 16th of June. And then after that, June 19 and 20, back to Madison Square Garden.
For a 2-night stand.
So 2 summers in a row.
2 summers in a row.
Goose
sold out. Multi-night.
Last year they were there for 1 night. Now this year they got 2 nights. So we'll see what we can expect from that. I would anticipate June 19th being a Friday, June 20th being a Saturday, and that sort of weekend in between. We see the fan community come together a lot of times at Goose multi-day shows to create what they call a flow down. It's a little harder in New York City, I know.
Last year they talked about doing it, and we know a lot of the incredible kind of fan artisans that are in that community. There's just nowhere. I mean, it's really hard to do something in the city unless you get a venue that can hold that many people.
Right.
And we talked about this. I don't even know. Did we do a follow up to Goosemas? I know we did.
We haven't
even talked about deep dive, but at Goosemas this past year we went. It was in Providence, Rhode Island, and it was probably the busiest flow down event that I have ever seen. We've been to many of them.
Yeah.
And it was freaking awesome.
Yep. We had a table there as posters in every direction.
Yep. Our buddies, Chris and Jordan are very good friends of the podcast and personally came and helped us out there. And if you all know Caroline from Rising Tide, we've had her and Chase on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And then Margot is one of our favorite artists. She goes by the Fox and the Cobra. Incredible art and patches that, you just want to buy them all. And they put that event on. And I mean, when I say the community showed up, they showed up.
Line was out the door
the entire time.
I mean, they were at capacity the entire flow down.
And I love it because it just shows how people show up, not just for the music, but the mm-hmm. community, and the community that's basically been created through the people who love the music.
Yep.
Listen to the music play, right?
Yeah, incredible tie-dye works. Picked up an awesome one by our buddy Derek at Permanent Marker Dyes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got the other, the Elmeg tie-dye from
mm-hmm. Poolside
Designs. And so incredible stuff. Yeah. I love the fan-made merch aspect of Goose and the Goose shows.
Yes.
I think there's more of that at those shows than the only one that comes to mind that I know the Grateful Dead. There's been shakedowns forever. Billy Strings had a lot of fan made merch presence. Mm-hmm. It's something we don't see a whole lot at Dave, and it's something you don't see a whole lot at like Pearl Jam. Like they have a lot of their own the corporate merch, right?
They got a lockdown on IP and that kind of stuff.
But I get that. That's a choice. That's fair. But I also like the other side of it, which is like, hey, just kind of like how Dave came up allowing people to trade tapes.
Yeah.
Somebody like Goose, fans, go ahead and make merch and share and just build community because it's the community and the fans that are going to sort of drive this thing forward to keep it going for years to come.
Speaking of merch, we did preview at the Flow Down, and you might have seen some Instagram stories. Speaking of our buddy Derek from Permanent Marker Dyes, we are at some point in time soon going to launch a pre-sale for Posters in Every Direction collab t-shirts with Permanent Marker Dyes. Why is my brain just stopping today?
That's
okay. And we're really excited because you know us, we love merch. We love really good high quality merch. We also love things that are limited in a limited edition. So we with our buddy Chris did a little refresh of our Posters in Every Direction logo, and we're going to be doing a collab with Derek, and that will be launching hopefully soon if we can get it up and out. Pre-order in February.
Yep.
And then we'll keep y'all posted, but we're pretty excited about that, and that kind of is the beginning. Can't say much.
Right. We have this concept.
We have a concept of a plan.
Right. Somewhat. We have a plan.
We have a plan.
At least a plow. We have a plow. At least. But I think we'll do, some social images, but also maybe we'll do an episode of the podcast dedicated to talking about this merch. Maybe we'll see if Derek wants to drop in or something. Awesome. And we have our shirts that we had made for the Flow Down that we were wearing with our team.
Yeah. We posted a couple pictures. I'll share some more on socials, but they're all going to be unique and differently dyed. It'll be all reverse dyed on, of course, our favorite
comfort colors.
Gotta be comfort colors. And then, if you enjoy the podcast, it's just a fun thing to do. Hopefully just continues to let us do fun things and bring some really cool collabs in the future.
That's right.
That's all I'm going to say about that. Yeah, that's a lot.
Maybe with some artists.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Additional artists.
Little teaser. Sizzle. That's a sizzle for the people.
Reel. It's a sizzle reel. But yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited about what we have coming up.
Yeah, 2026 is shaping up to be a pretty momentous year.
Have you counted?
No.
Okay.
We can count right now.
I don't know. I'm a little nervous to count. Try. It makes me feel like.
I mean, I did a rough Goose count with some friends in our one of our Goose chats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the long story short is, and just talking to y'all transparently as listeners and friends and fans and all that, you know us as really kind of getting our start as Dave Matthews Band fans. That hasn't changed. We're still huge DMB fans. We love DMB.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to DMB. We've got hundreds of DMB posters.
Yes.
I've been following DMB. I have since 1994-ish.
Yeah, that's when I first heard.
4 or 5, those were my first shows in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Grew up listening to DMB. And for me, the summer's not the summer unless I'm going to a DMB show.
Yeah.
But I'm also at that point in life just with logistics and, busyness and the structure of their tour and calendar and how it shakes out. Super excited they're coming to Raleigh, our hometown.
Love a good hometown show.
We're going to make that show. I think that might be the only show we're able to fit in, given travel plans and where they are.
Shift as well, and that's nothing like you said. It's a both and thing.
Last year we were in Charleston for both shows down there for Dave. That was fantastic, and it's just like that quintessential sort of taste of summer. Like if it's not a Dave Matthews Band show at a like here in Raleigh, we go to Walnut Creek. Growing up in Pittsburgh, I went to a place called Star Lake Amphitheater. Y'all have heard me talk about that. Shout out to Burgettstown, aka Pittsburgh. My buddy Lucas, who's up there. If you're listening, Lucas, shout out to you. Y'all are getting a show on this summer tour with Dave back at Star Lake again. And really wanted to make that one. We're going to be on a family vacation with the kiddos, though, because they'll be out of school. And so it's just that sort of thing. But super excited, super thankful that the Dave Matthews Band has made it a priority to come back to Raleigh, North Carolina this year on June 5th. The next day, which is Saturday, there's a show in Virginia Beach. And this is the sort of current in question. Do we make the drive? Do we put in for tickets now and get those tickets and also do Virginia Beach? Do we wait to the last minute and just hop in the car? So we're really not sure yet about that. We know we're going to obviously try to go to the hometown show in Raleigh. Not sure if we'll make Virginia Beach. But other than that, as I mentioned, we are taking a family vacation in July, so we're going to miss a bunch of those dates. And just kind of the way the calendar shook out, that's kind of what we're looking at for Dave.
And the FOMO will be strong because the big part about Dave for us, not just the music, it's the community. It's the friends that we get to see in the summertime, that don't live in our city, that we get to meet up with and enjoy amazing time and music with. And so I definitely will have some FOMO there. We've had some pings of people like, where are you guys going? It's like, this is where we can make it work. And I'm really grateful to be able to go to a show. I mean, there was a time where, when the kids were really little, like we didn't make it to anything. Maybe one night if we were lucky at a hometown show. Yeah.
And the other thing I've got to put in here, just because I want to be, I like, as the kids say, I want to keep it real with y'all.
Keep it real.
Keep it real. The ticket cost has gone up for Dave.
Pretty significant.
And there's other things like now, for instance, Walnut Creek, our home venue, charges for parking. Parking used to be free. And so when you add parking in a close spot, now it is Premier, so I know I'm being bougie.
Yeah, but regular parking is still not free anymore.
Regular parking was like $30. No, it was $30.
Well, $30 that's at the venue.
To pre-order it. And I just said,
oh, really?
I just said, fluff it. And I went for Premier, which is $72.
Yeah, that's insane.
Erica yelled at me already.
I did. But I'm still mad about it because that's a poster.
Right. You add that to the tab. That's not really the distinguishing factor. The distinguishing factor for me was 2 tickets, first choice GA Pit. It's just $500. It's basically $250 a ticket. And it's just gotten up there. It's expensive. It's not to say that they're not worth it. They haven't earned it, but it's also, I'm sure, increased costs just across the board for venues and labor and all those things.
It just makes us our dollars don't go as far.
The dollars don't go as far when you start to put in ticket requests for Dave shows and you're like, basically I have to plan for each one of these to be $500 a pop plus. And so when we sort of evaluate it from a budget standpoint, it's like, for instance, if we add Virginia Beach, I just need to say In tickets plus, that's another $500 to $600. Then there's grab a hotel room, and there's just travel and food and all that. So when you kind of start to add these things into the mix of the overall cost to go to the show, it's meaningful. It's meaningful.
It is, and
and because of that, it just makes us have to pick and choose.
There's nothing. It's not nothing other than we have to be mindful of that going forward.
Now, in that same vein, Goose launched their tour. Their ticket prices have actually, in a way, gone down. And I say that because Goose used to have this VIP platform that I really liked. It was great. You put in, you get these VIP tickets, you'd get early access or early admission and go in and get to shop your merch early and your poster. And then you lined up based on a lottery. Basically, everybody who bought VIP, for those of you that know DMB in the warehouse, everybody was getting first entry. You didn't have to apply for first entry. And they lined you up based on a lottery system in the venue once you were already in. But you'd already been, gone through security, gone through check-in. You're in the venue. You got to buy your T-shirt, buy your poster. I mean, I was getting up there with foil posters, autographed, like whatever I wanted. And I was in heaven, obviously. This is a big deal to me.
Merch heaven.
And I understand things change, things evolve. A vocal minority maybe complains about this or that. And so the band changed their policy. I think they phrased it as they are revamping the VIP, trying to figure out how they do it.
I'm curious because is there really a VIP program for a band that really, really works? Like what's the model? What's the model that truly works?
Right. And
so I'm hoping that they're kind of figuring something like that out.
I think they will. I think something will develop. I wouldn't be surprised if some type of fan club develops, like a la Dave or Fish, or but we'll see. But this year, for the current tour, everything that we put in for was GA. Just sort of GA pit. And when you kind of group everything together, and I can get specific with you guys, but there are some different venues that work different ways, and so. Couple of the venues that we put in for are GA pit. Others
are just straight up GA.
One of them is just a GA. The whole venue is general admission, no seats, no pit. It's just I don't know. And that's in Bend, Oregon. And so we're going to take a journey across the U.S., do sort of a let's go out west, let's come back a little to the mountains, and then come back to Raleigh. We're going to hit Bend, Oregon for 2 nights with Goose. We're going to hit the Kettle House Amphitheater in Bonner, Montana.
Never been to Montana, never been to Oregon.
Right outside of Missoula, Montana. And then we're not there yet. We're trying, fingers crossed. Tickets are about to go on sale for 2 nights at Red Rocks in Colorado.
So this is what they've done for Red Rocks is it's a lottery.
It is.
So I think they took about 90% of the tickets available. You had to put in whether you wanted 1 night or 2 nights. They're playing Thursday, Friday, and you submitted, and now we're waiting. And so if you get lucky, you get chosen to purchase.
That's right.
You get chosen to purchase. So that's
Red Rocks. And just again, for our fans out there, for some people, we've heard it from friends, like, how are you guys only doing 1 Dave show? I know, I hear you. It's a scheduling thing. It's a cost thing. It's a what's available where and how this whole thing shook out thing. And, we've seen Dave for 30 plus years now, 66 shows coming up. And I've heard a lot of music. We've heard a lot of music. There's very little we're chasing anymore with Dave. I mean, I'm chasing Let You Down. I'm chasing number 34. These are songs I'm just probably not going to get. And that's okay. I'm eternally grateful for all the songs I've heard with Dave. Now, Goose, there's still a lot I haven't heard out of their catalog. They're always dropping new covers. Even if you've heard the song before, they play it completely different. Yeah. The amazement of the arrangements and things and the jams is just it's a fresh thing that reminds me of when I used to see Dave when I was in college.
Yeah.
That's the sort of feeling I get.
The late 90s
so
Dave.
Call me trying to, be an old man trying to be a young man again, maybe.
Well,
but that's kind of what Goose is delivering for me right now.
It is. And it's accessibility. It's it's the volume of places that they're going to be. It's the pricing, kind of pinpoint pricing right now. I mean, we noticed the first kind of like whoa moment was when we went to our first Goose shows, and their posters were like $40 and $60. We were like, what?
Yeah. So,
you know, and we're used to the Dave price point, which is $75, $150.
Yep.
So, you know, I remember we were at our Charlotte show, our first, you know, kind of summer tour back in 2024, right? That one went to Skyla in 24. And, you know, we're in line and Mike's like, should we get the foil? And I was like, I don't know, just get, and he was like, I got the foil. It was $60, I think it was. And I was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, so again,
they're up and coming.
They're up and coming. And I'm sure those prices are going to get up there because we've talked to artists before. We know the cost of ink is increasing, the cost of paper, the, you know, manual printing costs. It's just, yes, I understand that there's inflation. You're going to bump me up a buck or two here or there. That's okay. I don't want anyone to be, you know, hurting for making some cash. You know, when we have to get dollars in, dollars out, and we can maximize where our dollars are at. Look, if it was up to me, I'd go everywhere, buy all the things.
Right. Just live on a sort of Winnebago type thing, traveling the world, the country.
But the reality of it is, you know, we now, with the economy of scale and the things that we have to do, we just have to make choices.
I'm excited about our choices.
I am too. I got no regrets.
Red Rocks for me is my number one bucket list venue. It is my number one
bucket list venue.
It's the one venue out of all venues that I've not seen a show at that I really want to see a show at.
Yeah.
The odds of Dave playing Red Rocks again are, at least right now, slim. Yeah. The next evolution of what does Dave look like after the Dave Matthews Band in its current format reshuffles? Who knows? But, you know, maybe Red Rocks pops up for him again then.
Dave and Tim, or maybe Dave and Friends. Yeah. You know, you never know.
But for Goose, going back to Red Rocks, it's like, for me, it was stop the presses.
Yeah.
This is the absolute top priority.
Yes.
Like everything else stops. Everything else, hold the phone. I don't know if they'll go back. Like this could be their last, you know, hurrah at Red Rocks. Or maybe it's the start of something great. Widespread Panic still plays Red Rocks.
Oh yeah, and they do like 2-3 night runs. So
maybe it's that. You know, they're good. They sold out 2 nights at MSG. They're clearly big enough to hold Fiddlers. We were at Fiddlers for Goose last year, and it was, I think, pretty close to sold out both nights. One of the nights was maybe a little lighter than the other, but it was packed. Dave's at Fiddlers this year for 2 nights. Happens to line up with right when Goose is at Red Rocks, right? And so this is another one of those things of like, all right, we're trying to figure things out. Do you go to Red Rocks 1 and 2 with Goose, and then night 2 of Dave at Fiddlers? Maybe, but here's the thing. We're putting together this sort of out west tour. We're already going to be going for like 10 days. We're going to be in Bend, Oregon, then coming back, going to Montana, and then going up to Colorado for Red Rocks night.
And the reality of all of that is that I think we're really grateful, and we're privileged to be in a place to be able to have a group of friends that we travel with. You know, we've got our Goose fam. That we've, you know, we love seeing them, and it's not any dissimilar than when we go see our Dave fam. That makes me so happy. It fills up my cup. You know, we've made incredible friends. We've picked up incredible art and merch, and I'm really, to be totally honest, I mean, we've had a lot of conversations with artists over the last year or two. Best of the Tour, we're talking to artists every day. So if you're not listening and you want to check out that podcast over there, there is incredible stories that we've been able to share over on that podcast as well. And it just brings me so much joy knowing that these artists have a place to pour out their heart and soul on paper that then is just an extension. We talked about this, I think, with Tiffany Chin and like this like extension of the music. It's like, what can I take that is inside my brain that the music creates in me and then create like a piece of art?
Yeah. So I think the message that's come through loud and clear from the artists is the enjoyment that they're having in sitting down and talking about these works.
Yeah.
Because after a gig and the job is over and the APs are sold, that might be, you know, their last interaction with the fans around that for a minute or maybe forever. And now to revisit some of that and talk with, you know, fans about the fans and about the art, I think it's been a lot of, it's been well received.
Yeah.
Right?
And I'm curious, drop us a comment. What do you guys want to see from us in 2026? I mean, we shoot the shit. We decide what we want to talk about. And it's joyful. It is so much fun to be able to do this together. I think I say that all the time, but it's sort of like, what am I grateful for? It's the fact that we get to do this together, which is really freaking cool. And that we get to continue to share things that you guys want to hear. Drop a comment in the episode. What do you guys want to hear more of in 2026? Do you want, more of the every direction, where we're kind of just picking different things? We've talked about topics on fan merch, flow downs. We also have talked that we collect the pins in the pin community. Do you want to, talk about that? Do we want to have conversations with other fans, other collectors?
More artist
interviews, which are, some of my favorite things to do because it just makes me geek out a little bit.
We go in lots of directions, lots of bands, lots of music, lots of merch. Still heavily focused on the Dave Matthews Band and Goose. But we'll report back to you guys too from even shows like when we see Dogs in a Pile at a small venue in April, because that's an experience that I'm looking forward to. And check out some new music, check out a cool venue, a little smaller scale. Maybe they don't charge you for parking. And what the merch scene looks like. It's April. You got to knock the rust off. You got to get ready for tour season. It's a slow.
You got to get ready before April.
I'm already focused on the protein and the fiber, guys. That's where my head's at. Trying to drop some LBs, get back into fighting shape. I bought a kettlebell. Everybody, do the kettlebell thing. So I'm going to be in shape for the crazy tour season.
Watch out, Mike 2026.
Right, but if you're going to be at any shows in Raleigh, North Carolina, we'll be seeing Dave there, Goose there. Drop us a shout out, a line there.
Absolutely.
Western tour for Goose for us starts to look like Bend, Oregon, Kettle House, Montana, Red Rocks. Let us know if you'll be at any of those. Spring tour for Goose will be in Asheville, North Carolina, down in Florida, and then an MSG, which is, so I guess that's summer already.
Yeah. Kickoff to their summer tour, technically.
And then I'm sure there will be more after that. Oh, and we mentioned Viva El Gonzo. So if any of y'all are listeners that are going to Mexico for Viva El Gonzo, shout us out. Let us know about that too. Keep an eye out for us. And if you are in the Atlanta area, again,
absolutely,
or
please
just want to hop a flight and come on down, Atlanta
Rock Poster
Show. End of February.
And we're just excited to see y'all on the road, in the poster line, at the shows, at the flow downs. And we're really grateful for those OGs and new listeners who have stuck around and have given us like encouragement and support, not only just here, but also at Best of the Tour. We're just thrilled to keep this thing going. So stay tuned for some of the cool merch things we were talking about. That's one way to support us. And, so we can continue to bring content and conversations and keep this little train rolling.
That's right.
Hey, thanks for listening, everyone.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.